Okay, what's up, you guys? Common Man Review here, and today we're going to be talking about Auburn quarterbacks. Auburn is in a lot better position at quarterback than they were in 2013 when Gus Malzahn took over as the head coach. He took over a bit of a mess. We had just gone 3-9 and really had no direction as an offense. He came in, implemented his style of offense, and immediately took us to the national championship. The quarterback at that time was Nick Marshall, and he was a lot more of a running quarterback than he was of a passing quarterback, but that's okay. That's what Gus Malzahn likes as a quarterback right now, or at that time, I'm sorry. And at that time, it worked. But as teams sort of started to figure everything out, we needed to go to more of a true dual threat quarterback instead of a running quarterback. A true dual threat quarterback is not a guy who can run for 1,000 yards and throw for 1,000 yards. A true dual threat quarterback is a quarterback who can throw the ball, but can also make plays with his legs when need be. A true dual threat quarterback is what Cam Newton is now in the pros, not what Cam Newton was at Auburn. At Auburn, Cam Newton was a running quarterback. He was not a dual threat quarterback. He was more likely to beat you with his leg than his arm. And that's not a popular opinion, but it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to have that. The situation Gus Malzahn has now is infinitely better than the one he stepped into. Right now, he has in his wing the first quarterback since Jason Campbell to throw for 3,000 yards in an Auburn uniform, and that is Jarrett Stidham. He is a transfer from Baylor. He is a redshirt junior. He still has 2 years of eligibility left, though we may as well consider him gone next year. I believe he's going to have one of those years, and he's going to go on to be a very tantalizing NFL prospect. He has a very good arm. He's really good in the play action game, and if it was me that needed to find one thing for him to improve in, that would be just regular intermediate, deep, short passes. He sort of looked ever so slightly off when he wasn't dropping back after a play action. Just regular drop back passes, he sort of looked a little bit out of place in it. He just looked a little bit off. It's nothing major. It can be worked on, and it's likely the product of him not playing in contact football for a whole solid season. That'll do that to somebody. But if it can be worked on, and if he can utilize that and the immensely talented Auburn wide receivers that are in his possession, he's going to be a very, very, very good quarterback next year. Likely competing with Jake Fromm for the best quarterback in the SEC, if not the country. I don't see a whole lot of returning quarterback prospects with the pedigrees of either of those guys. And his backup is a little bit less of a known quantity. Malik Willis, he is a very wiry running quarterback. He sort of reminds you of a Nick Marshall in that he can take just about anything you give him to the house, but you can't give him anything because of that athletic ability. He is what I was talking about earlier, a running quarterback. He's got a very strong arm, not the most accurate in the world right now, but accuracy can be taught. It can with footwork and reading the defenses. Accuracy and timing and touch can be taught. We finally have a coach in Chip Lindsey who can do that. He was very good with Jarrett Stidham last year, and with Malik Willis also. Malik Willis can throw a very good deep ball right away, and he's good intermediate when he has to put balls in a tight window, but other than that, he's very, very rough. He's a very fast guy, but I believe I've already said that. And he's shown in games like Missouri and other squash games that he can take long runs to the house easily if you give him even the slightest of creases. And the last guy I'm going to talk and possibly rant about for a moment if I get carried away is Joey Gatewood. Joey Gatewood is the next big thing at Auburn, if you ask our fan base. He is Cam Newton, Bo Jackson, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown, Nick Fairley, all rolled into one. He is going to single-handedly win us 4 national championships. 4 years, he's going to go out there 1-on-11 and just run everybody out of the building. It's not going to happen like that. I tell Georgia fans all the time to temper their expectations for their young quarterback, Justin Fields. He's going to end up taking a red shirt this year, and I ultimately believe that's what Gatewood's going to do as well. I think he's a very good college prospect. He's 6'5" and 230 pounds. That is a college-ready quarterback coming out of high school. He's already built to take the hits, and his frame can take more weight. If you can build some muscle up on him and work on his endurance, he was a quarterback, timeshare quarterback. He was a victim of that in high school. There was an article out a while back that his other quarterback tandem partner, I cannot think of the name, it escapes me at the moment, told a reporter that they split every other series, and that really doesn't let a quarterback get into a rhythm, so we really don't know what kind of quarterback he is right now. But he is a quarterback. The athlete label, I think, is placed unfairly upon him. I think he is a quarterback in every sense of the word. I think if you can work with him on just his general mechanics and decision making, I think he already has all the tools and accuracy to succeed at the next level. I think you just have to refine everything and tweak it just a little bit until he can come in and start. But on top of all that, on top of everything, the most important thing we can do for him is take the next Cam Newton label off of him. He's not the next Cam Newton. Ask him. He says he's the first Joey Gatewood. And that's the mentality these quarterbacks need to come in with. They don't need to listen to these guys saying, oh, Justin Fields is the next great Georgia quarterback, or Jacob Eason is the next Matthew Stafford, or Joey Gatewood's the next Cam Newton. It's not fair to these quarterbacks to put that kind of pressure on them because they've already got enough on their backs as it is as a student athlete. Joey Gatewood is going to be a very good quarterback if we can take the labels off of him and let him be Joey Gatewood. If we can't do that, we have no business even bringing him in. We need to let him go the same route that we let some of our more talented quarterback prospects in the past do and just transfer out, because he's never going to succeed and he's never going to find any sort of legacy at Auburn if people are constantly saying he's the next Cam Newton or wondering what could have been if he's not. A perfect example of that, Jacob Eason. He came out of Washington to Georgia. Unbelievable amount of hype. He is the next Matthew Stafford. His arm is second to none in college football. He's going to be the Georgia quarterback that is responsible for the rebirth of Georgia football. And what happened? He had an underwhelming freshman year. South Carolina, he was 5 of 20. And that's, if it was any normal freshman quarterback, you would say that was a freshman game. He had the freshman low. He didn't play his game, and the things didn't go well for him. The speed of the game just got to him. But since it was Jacob Eason, next Matthew Stafford, people are wondering, well, what's going on? Is he hurt? Is he just not that good? Or is he overhyped? Is he overrated? It's none of those things. He's a freshman. And he played against a top-tier defensive coach in Will Muschamp with a lot of defensive talent. And stuff like that's going to happen. And Jacob Eason, he came in and he won the starting job this year. And he had gotten to a point where he was comfortable in the system. And then he gets hurt. And then now the conversation of, well, he's injury prone, or well this, well that, and now he's gone. He's at Washington. And where is your next Matthew Stafford now? He's gone. And I feel like, in my opinion, a lot of that had to do with the expectations that were put on him instead of just letting him come in and be Jacob Eason. And I think Jake Fromm, with all that talk that was going to Eason, not a lot of talk was going into, well, Jake Fromm's going to be the next Darren Murray. Jacob Fromm's going to be the next great Georgia quarterback. And he got a chance to just come in and be Jake Fromm and play his game. And what happens? Georgia loses 2 games, one of which was the national championship. The expectations on these kids are unreal these days and are not getting any better. If we can take the labels off of Gatewood, Eason, Fields, Emory Jones at Florida, Nick Fitzgerald, I believe these guys are going to be a whole lot better because that mental weight's going to be off of their shoulders. But, you know, you guys, that's my opinion on what we've got at quarterback this year for the Auburn Tigers. This is going to be a new series for me. I'm going to be breaking the Tigers down position by position. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. I know I enjoy making these videos, these type videos. And I've been the Common Man. This has been the Common Man Review. I will see you guys in the next